Cool.
Bro, you're so good with this. Like, you're so natural, man. I swear before I get so nervous.
Why?
Because you do this so much, but for you, it's like calm,
Yeah,
innit?
now, bro, do you know what's crazy? There's no pressure.
Yeah, I know,
There's
but
no pressure.
slightly.
It's your show.
Do you not
It's
feel
yours.
the camera? I know, but do you not feel the camera like looking at you sometimes?
I might be used to it, but
Yo, yeah, okay, so you.
yeah, maybe. But even then, it's not like there's a film crew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
that would
Behind
be
the
even
lens,
worse.
there's not a film crew.
That would be so much worse. Imagine.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just start off by like praising people and like congratulating people on how far you've come, man. Like
love,
you've
bro.
done so much. The studio is beautiful, man.
Love, bro.
I just don't know like where it started for you. Like you just came out of nowhere and on my radar.
Nah, it came from my bedroom. It started from originally, yeah. If we're going like way back, it started from me spitting.
Oh, but even before the studio, I mean, like you doing podcast sessions and
That wasn't before. That wasn't before.
oh, so studio was like the first one.
But I started, the way this started was in my bedroom or in my I lived alone from quite early. I would spit.
That's
Get me?
sick.
Grime days. Grime. And I broke my leg one time, wonder if this is in the way, motherfucker. Yeah, I broke my leg, running from police. Imagine that, of all things, yeah. And it was an icy day, like I jumped over, I didn't get caught, but I snapped my ankle on ice. Like I dipped over a fence, landed, snapped my ankle. So obviously I'm in a cast.
Yeah.
I'm on crutches for 3 months. No radio. You see, like you had like pirate radio them days. No youth club, no studio. So I thought them days it was like no one had studios in it. There was no such thing. You either had like real big, like kind of big studios that you had to pay a lot of money for, or you had the youth club that you could go to. So for me, I thought I'm gonna try and build my own one. Just in my room, I've got a dead laptop. Just gonna get some dead speakers for £100, a mic for £60, and I'm just gonna try and make it happen. And the music sounded whack. When I say whack, bro, it was sounding whack. And them days there was no YouTube to help me, like learn how to mix, learn how to do this. I had to do it just by ear. So I'm doing it by ear, and eventually, like it might have taken a while, like a year and a half before it started to sound like music.
proper.
This is what I'm saying. I'm learning it now, and because I'm doing it by like trial and error. I understand exactly why it sounds good and what would make it sound bad. So I kind of learnt the long way, but like a way where I understand everything now.
So you can say it's like self-taught kind of thing.
I'm completely self-taught. I didn't study none of this in uni. Like, I didn't do any. I haven't studied music or sound engineering or anything like that once. But then I started. Obviously, I'm in the end on spitting. Everyone knows that I've got a studio in my room.
Yeah.
I'm having to lick out mixtape after mixtape
No
from my room.
way.
So other people,
people came in?
People was coming to my house to record.
Oh my days.
So eventually it got to a point where like, you see like your friends can come, that's cool.
Yeah.
My house is a chill zone anyway. Everyone used to come, just play FIFA, all of that.
Yeah.
They would pretend they're coming to play FIFA with me and come record tunes, all of that kind of stuff. But then when people start saying, oh, my boy wants to come, you're just like, yeah. And then all of a sudden you're just like, how many people can I bring into my house, really? So I thought, all right, I'm going to try and get a studio unit and start from there. And I found like a cheap one at the top of Ladbroke Grove at the time, and I only had it for a year because they sold the building, but I got a good price on it. And I just built my first studio in there. And it was pretty budget, but you see like it has like all the homely feels. Anyway. It was budget, but I didn't feel budget. If you walked in it, you still felt sexy. Well, everyone was in that studio at some point. Yeah, I mean, man's had Stormzy in there, Gets in there, bro. I've had everyone in that first studio, bro. Example, P Money, all of these. I ripped out, bro. P Money's whole album got made in the first studio. Scraps, everyone, bro. Everyone, get me? Like, I worked with everyone. I just don't really put it out.
Yeah. I realized
so everyone was in that studio. But then obviously the building got sold. But by that, Into got made in like the first 6 weeks of me building that studio.
Yeah, I saw you got a little.
So like it started and hit the ground kind of running. So yeah, but before that, to be fair, like I knew what I was doing. Like I'd done bits and bobs at like Sony, so like I knew what I was doing around music, and then yeah, it just went from studio to studio, just built more and more.
So then how did you go to like Filthy Fellas and podcast sessions and JD?
So imagine this, yeah, in the first studio, the first ever podcast that I worked with was Halfcast. So Chucky's phone me, he said, all right, cool, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, we'll line this up. Them days, that I'd never recorded a podcast before. Never. Only like voiceover, studio stuff, whatever it is. It's the first, when I say the first one through the door, I mean literally the first one.
Oh.
So I started after a few weeks to optimize the space towards that, because I knew that they're going to come and have a weekly discussion. At first, it was only Poet and Chucky, but I'm there giving my opinion as well. Obviously, I wasn't supposed to be part of the show, but obviously where my opinion was a little bit left of center, it started to like, the people was like, oh yeah, we need to Savage down on it. Yeah, we need to Savage down on it. So I grew into whatever Savage Dan was. Then I had to move out of that studio because that building got sold. Went to another one in Acton, a proper dingy little space, but I had to find somewhere fast. So I had 28 days to find anywhere. Finding units isn't easy because no one likes sound pollution. Yeah. So every time you go and speak to a space that's available, they'll be like, what are you doing? And if I'm not doing architecture or something quiet, they'll be like, no, we can't have noise pollution in it. Ended up getting a spot in there. And that's when Taser phoned me. I've known Taser since I was like 15 or whatever it is. And he's phoned me just like, yo, like, obviously I see you lot are doing half-cast. I want to do a podcast. So he comes with Keith and Marv to the small studio and they start Free Shots. But obviously I'm on every episode of Free Shots for like the first 50.
Jeez.
So obviously, and then after 4 months, that studio got flooded, and it was a blessing in disguise. Yeah, like none of my stuff was
damaged.
Damaged, but like some really heavy rain came one year, and like we was in the basement, and like the building just got compromised. Like the whole floor was up to 2 feet of water. Luckily, all my equipment's like another step higher. Up. Yeah. But I used that to get out of the contract.
Yeah.
I was just like, right, get me. This has ruined it. I didn't like going to Acton every day. Anyway, I'm from Grove. I wanted my studio in Grove. I found a spot literally across the road.
Whoa, this is your third studio now.
My third studio now in the building, literally opposite this one.
Oh yeah.
So I've gone there. Obviously, these buildings now. Acton, you get a little dingy thing. It's getting me like a little $6 a month, $8 a month. Well, you come back to Grove. Like in a nice building with big real estate, like you're paying double, triple that. But I was just like, forget it, man. I need to be in Grove. Came back. Obviously, everyone's followed me from studio to studio to studio. It's happy to be back in Grove in a nicer room. Basically built a booth again. I had to do everything over again. But that became my home for like 2.5 years. And then just obviously that was when Halfcast started going to video. That was when everything started going to video.
They were audio before.
Everything was audio before.
Yeah,
no one started filming anything until like 4 years ago.
So what did it mean? Like SoundCloud?
Everyone was on SoundCloud and Apple Music, iTunes, whatever it is.
That's big.
No one was filming. No one was on YouTube. Halfcast started doing it. Obviously, Chucky's got in touch with Callum, said, all right, cool, this is what we want to do, this is the direction we want to go in. And that's where it started to get, the whole podcast scene started to catapult of it. Obviously, Receipts podcast come out of there. So Taser's said, I'm putting together Receipts. He's put that together, they've come through. Obviously, Receipts is kicked off in the studio as well. And before you know it, like, my studios are kind of, and remember, I've only got one room at this time. So it's like I'm having to juggle things. So all the rappers and the singers are getting pissed off a little bit because podcasters are taking so much time, especially weekday evenings. So I knew that I had to move eventually and get a bigger space. I'm looking around. I was trying to look in the same building that I was in across the road. But like the way it's set up in there, it wasn't ideal for me to have another studio in there. And then this one popped up out of nowhere, and I knew it was too expensive, and I knew it was too big, and I knew the project was big and dumb because it's 150 square meters of nothingness.
Yeah, that's what I saw a picture of. It was nothing. You started from walls,
I did the electricity, bro. Everything had nothing in here, so I had to put everything in: lighting, electricity, walls, systematically. So I would do sessions across the road.
Oh,
if I got
my
one from
days.
12
You
to
still
8,
have to work. I forgot
I'll
about
come
that.
across here. I had to do it because I can't afford to pay for
Yeah.
everything that has to come in here. So I'll literally like do a session, get the piece from that, go and buy wood from flipping pause. I'd go and buy wood from flipping like New Line or like a builder's merchant, bring it back, build. It was, well, I went broke like 10 times doing it, but I knew I had to do it. And they were like, I just knew I had to do it. And now, well, I've still not moved in. This building's still not done. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's still not done. This room only came like 3 months ago.
No way.
This was a lobby. Where we are right now.
Oh,
I only decided to. Do you know when I decided to build this room? On the flight to LA to watch KSI versus Logan Paul. Yeah, literally. I was bored, like, and I was thinking, what can I do? I started looking at the floor plans of what I'd built in here. I thought, actually, do I even need a lobby? Because the whole thing was the lobby. People would like
it was a bit
gather
big,
here, make noise for the people in there, and I was like, a lobby's a nice idea, but in practice, in reality, exactly.
And stuff
so now I thought, I'm gonna make it into another room, and then that's it. That's it. Yeah, this is the newest room. This room came out of nowhere. Basically, since I learned to build a wall, I've just been building walls everywhere. Like, that's it. I put them up everywhere. It's crazy.
So what made you keep going though? Like that drive and effort?
I don't know. It's weird.
Do you think it was the people though? Like the pressure you felt from people? Like there was so many customers, for example.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I am.
Shit, you got to keep up.
I've got not even. Yeah, I've got to make things. I was turning away like a lot of work. When I say I turning away, I'm talking about. I'm turning away X Factor. Like, I'm turning away like big people. I turned away like Shaggy. Like I'm turning away like big labels and people. And it's not because I want to, it's because, I don't have the space. Because guess what? My man from the ends is coming to record tonight. He's had it booked in since last Tuesday. And I can't upset him because you're a big name. Do you see what I'm saying? I can't. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to say, bro, like, sorry, but Drake's coming today, so you're going to have to sit this one out. Even though, like, it might make business sense to do it, I just don't. It doesn't feel good with me. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially seeing as I made this studio at the like, one of the key reasons why I've kept this like an affordable space is because I don't want to price people. I want this to be for the ends, for everyone that can just come here, make your music. There's no trouble. Like, no one will have had, like, there's never been any trouble in these studios because I'll itch something up if there's trouble in it. And it's just one of those ones where, like, I want it to be where people can come and create, whether it's a podcast, whether it's your music, whether it's a music video, now photography rooms. Like, I want you to be able to do whatever it is you want to do, should be able to come here and do it media-wise without breaking the bank. Simple, isn't it? Like, it's pretty simple. So that was what forced me to have to move, because I'm having to, like...
And plus, you understand, because obviously you was at that, when you was young age, you didn't have that opportunity.
I basically built the studio I needed when I was younger.
Yeah,
that's literally what I've done. That's literally what I've done. It's nuts.
So now, what are you doing now though, besides the studio?
No,
but you're focusing on like JD and the Chelsea stuff.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So obviously, because I'm a Chelsea fan and because I'm like cocky / confident, and I just like I'm personable, whatever it is, whatever the word is that people want to use. Like, it kind of threw me into like other avenues. So obviously being with Poet is like the first, I'd say, like the original presenter from the ends. When I say presenter, he's not a presenter. He's like, because Poet's just being himself. He's not presenting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just being him on camera, and it's got a thing of popular culture but mixed with sports and music. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of the first that kind of merged worlds together. So he shouted at me and he said, will you come and Filthy Fellas today? It was like I think it was a Monday. He was just like, yeah, you come and Filthy. I said, yeah. And obviously I know Scribs and I know all of these lot, but I'd not been on Filthy before. I'd only been on Half Cost. So I've come on there. Obviously I'm a Chelsea fan, trying to back Chelsea, but at the same time I'm just trying to rip Arsenal. And people liked it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People liked it. And because of that, the producer, Tigo, just like, all right, cool, he could be actually part of this. Because a lot of people come on Filthy as a guest and you don't come back or whatever it is. But yeah, you could be one of the lads, innit?
So do you feel like you got invited to it though, or did you feel like you had to get out there to get in there?
No,
you were proper invited.
I was invited. I knew what Filthy Fellas was, but it wasn't something I was ever looking at like, oh, I want to be a part of that. I've never really looked at any, bro. I literally just live day to day. All I care about is playing football, like punching bags and punching people with head guards on. Like, so that obviously, like, that threw me into the kind of football. So everyone knows that musically, or maybe they don't. A lot of people just think loads of people didn't even know I own the studios. People think, this guy must be just walking past studio every time they're recording. Why is this guy always there? But yeah, obviously people who know that I'm a sound man, innit? I deal with anything, whether it's TV programs, whether it's voiceovers, whatever it is, I'm a sound guy, innit? I always deal with sound. So then now I'm being like thrown in as a sports guy, football guy, and I'm a proper football man, innit? Like, I've got a Chelsea tattoo on my chest. Like, I've got a Chelsea tattoo on my chest. I'm a proper Chelsea guy, innit? I love football, I still play football, so that puts me out to the sports world a bit. But obviously, I'm probably better at football than I am at boxing. I don't know, but yeah, I love boxing. Like, I love boxing. Boxing's my baby. So it's like I'm also thrown into that world. So then via that,
it just merges all together.
Yeah, I don't know how. I can't. Obviously, it takes time and relationships and like just kind of natural things to happen for it to occur. But it just so happened that JD were trying to get back heavily into boxing. I'm linked with them because everyone knows about my love for boxing. I speak about it on podcasts. I speak about it on Filthy. There was a time there was an episode where I turned Filthy Fellas into a boxing show at the end.
Oh wow!
Asking about welterweights. Like, I just flipped the script on it. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So it's definitely luck.
So, but do you feel like in order to be invited, you have to get out there first? Because the problem with some people is getting out there. That's the hard part.
It's the problem for everyone. I mean, if you're whatever it is, if you're an artist, as in like a literal like illustrator, for people to know that your work exists, it needs to have a shop window. I just happened to naturally have a shop window that I didn't even really create for myself, but I did, but without knowing it. In half cast, in free shots, I had a voice. I had a voice, and then I had a face, and then you see what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden, like whatever I'm saying seems to, for at least some people, like resonate. You see what I'm saying? Resonate. Plus, listen, let's have it right. Before all of this, I was a road Jew. like I've been out here. So in terms of like, I'm not like I'll give you like a certain perspective on things. And it's just like, it is what it is. You get me? Like, it made me who I am today. Obviously, I had to do bits and bobs to like
to get where you are.
Yeah, as in like, listen, like brands, I would say, want squeaky clean, or at least close to clean, and they don't. Then I don't think they quite know what version of me I am. I don't even think I decide that until the day where I turn up. But just in general, like, who I am now is very different to who I am 10 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
But you're going to have to love that guy from 10 years ago because he made this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to love him. I'm sorry. Like, obviously, I'm not going to sit there and talk about every crime I did on your platform, JD Sports, or any of these. But bottom line, it's out there. Like, and I don't even feel like, I feel like even without saying a lot of the stuff, you might have guessed it anyway. So my poker face isn't that good, innit? Like, it is what it is.
No, but going back to the point where you said about the podcast and like your voice matters, do you feel like after a while you might have to not change your opinion, but you have to be careful what you say because I
did that
how many people are watching?
Ago. From like 3 years ago. Like, first of all, my missus, she was on me. She was not happy with me because Savage Dan would talk about everything. But Savage Dan would also talk about relationship stuff, sex stuff. And it's obviously Savage Dan would go home and Savage Dan's in trouble. So like Savage Dan had to adjust that one, first of all. Because at first I would say anything. At the time, you're not thinking of what brands you can work with. This was kind of before all of this started happening. Influencing even was a thing. Or whatever this world is, like social media influencers. before any of that was even a thing, I'm just me. And as far as I'm concerned, I have no one to answer to. I work for myself. I can say what I want. You can email all you want, and it's going to come to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do in essence.
Yeah.
But then obviously as brands start coming in, you start thinking, oh, wait, maybe I can't say that. Or maybe that's inappropriate. Or maybe I should say nothing. Or maybe I should just be me. Because at the end of the day, these brands are coming in for you.
Because of who you are.
Because of who you are. Yeah, they may want you to dim it down a bit. But if I dim it down the whole way, I just become all of them lot.
That's the scary thing.
So it's
now.
dangerous.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So yeah, they want you for you. But it's almost like they're saying, be you, but not too much like you and a bit more like him. It's tough, but still, I would say even with obviously, with JD, and I like working with JD because the people I work with at JD, that's like my guys. So it's like through another agency before it gets to JD basically. So it's like, well, it's like people I love. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but with JD, with Chelsea, with whatever other brands you see me, Durex, whatever brands you see me working with, none of them make me as much money as me.
Yeah.
So I'm not too scared. I'm not too scared about what I say in terms of what they'll say. I'm more scared of what I say in fact of what my chick is going to say. To be totally honest. Hold on. Oh, someone's early. Someone's super early. Someone's like 2 hours early. Go on, carry on.
What do you like focus on the most then? Or you don't really have one that you focus on, you're just more of...
I've definitely put everything into the studio.
Yeah.
It has to. It absolutely has to, because this is like...
Because that was your main goal, can we say? Your main goal?
Bro, like, I'm talking like, even on my phone, I remember, not to go too deep, but I remember going community service, yeah? And every day you'd have to get up. I did it twice a week. I'd get up and I would like go to this like warehouse factory. You got to deliver goods to people's houses and stuff like that. But I remember at the time I had a screensaver on my phone. And the screensaver was of a studio. And I think it was the Hit Factory in Miami, but that was my screensaver. Like every time, all I knew is knowing that I wanted to have a recording studio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Literally. And it's weird because now next door looks quite similar to what that picture looked like in the original thing. And it's just like I just it's always what I've always wanted. But there's other things I've always wanted as well. So this is just like the first phase of things, and I feel like I've got this to a space now where I can almost step away and let it run its own thing. Almost. I'll say another 2 years.
But that's what you plan to do.
Yeah.
Like, and then do whatever
not
you
stay,
want to do.
Not stay away, but as in I want it to be self-sufficient. So I have a couple of engineers in here.
Yeah.
I have maybe a couple of videographers in here. And then also, like for example, you come here and you want to do a podcast. Maybe if you haven't, obviously it's quite difficult if you've got cameras, you need someone else to set up. But in essence, there is nothing to stop you or me saying to you, let me show you exactly how you can come in here and set up your own podcast whenever you, do you know what I'm saying? So in essence, a lot of the stuff is mainly podcasts, mainly voiceovers. A lot of stuff might not even need me to be here. It just needs access to the studios, which I might just need a studio manager who sits in the lobby. So I want it to be just able to operate without me.
Yeah, no, that's sick.
And then I can go and do other stuff.
Yeah, that's sick. But I just want to go back to your wallpaper thing because I'm a big fan of that visualizing like your dreams and the goals and stuff. The fact that you just keep seeing it, you finally like made it yours, man.
Yeah, it's sick. Nuts. It's nuts. But people underestimate how much power there is in manifest it. I don't even want to be one of these motivational speakers. But like personally, like I think I've been lucky. I have been lucky, but I think I've also made a bit of my own luck.
Yeah, that's also you need to make your own luck to
like. I've definitely been helped because there's certain things that just wouldn't have happened without certain introductions, and certain things that wouldn't have happened without me walking past one day and like it being like just happenstance that I see somewhere that has offering this or that's happening there, and then I do this and then somebody needs that. That's what I'm saying. Like I've been fortunate, man. I have to admit it. Like I definitely have. That's
sick. So how do you deal with like competitors and stuff?
Well, I think competitors are good.
In what industry though? Like studio industry or like?
Well, in a way, yeah. So for example, like right now, there's loads of podcast studios popping up, loads of recording studios popping up, and that's fine. But I think my entire motive for doing it in the beginning will be different to what theirs was. Theirs was, right, like, this is a money-making thing that podcasts are in right now. So what we're going to do is, like, we're making a podcast studio. And my motives are completely different.
Yeah.
And there was times where I was, like, also, my thing's not all money in terms of, like, if put it this,
what you
like,
do, what you want to do. It's not just because.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
100%.
just the money in terms of, like, there was times where people would come to. Remember when Radar Radio was open? So Radar was a place in, like, Brick Lane, I think it was, or towards them, that kind of area anyway. And it was like a kind of a big community. It was run by like some rich people, and it was pretty much like this. You had studios, but you had radio rooms, you had everything. And a lot of people were able to do stuff there for free, whether it's your radio shows, stuff like that. But they were very limited on who could do what and when and how and blah 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 blah. I think it was meant to be like a charity or something like that. Anyway, that went down after a while. But I remember saying to people, look, if it's like, obviously you're paying and you're not, everyone knows the prices here, you're not paying anything through the roof. But if you are struggling, or if you are trying to get a show out every week, and all of a sudden you find yourself spending £200 a month or whatever it is, it might seem like nothing, but that's a lot of expendable income to a lot of people. You might be better off going to Radar and seeing if you can do something there, because, like, also I was at a time where everything was packed anyway. Like, if I could lose clients, it would be beneficial, innit? Like, go. Yeah. But also, I'm just saying, like, competition is healthy. Otherwise, I'll just be stressed out. I didn't work till I was like 24. I didn't work. You hear me? I was out here. So like, and when I say work, I mean like this. This is. So, like, I'm not sure how much money everyone has to be able to, but all I know is that once you start spending hundreds and then thousands of pounds on things that aren't making you any money back, you get tired of it.
Yeah.
Unless it's for a different motive. So same thing I say to podcasters now when they're coming and people are like, how do you make the podcast bang? And I'm just like, bro, you're at the beginning where this is still yours. You got a long way, but you got to work out your motives. A lot of people want to get information out. That's a perfect reason for having a podcast. A lot of people want to inspire people. Perfect reason for having a podcast. But if your reason for having a podcast is solely because you want that same deal that Joe Rogan got, Spotify deal, chances are you're not gonna be here for long because you'll want it faster. Your motives are different. So that's kind of how I feel about a lot of competitors. A lot of studios just build studios. You lose a lot of money before you make it.
Yeah,
fact.
That 100%.
Mine was slightly different because I had a clientele from my bedroom. So the transition was kind of, but look how many people there are in London. A lot. And look how many people want to be musicians or podcasters or photographers or this. The arts world in London is getting bigger and bigger.
That's why the competitors part kind of
I need competitors.
Yeah.
It helps.
With what I'm studios, saying? I can understand, but with podcasters or music or whatever.
Well, just in general, look, I'm seeing a lot of people getting like little whack setups and putting them in rooms and saying we've got a podcast studio. You haven't. You're using like mics that are insufficient, systems that aren't. It's easy, yeah, but still, you're not even willing to go the full.
You need to make it quality, innit?
Use condensers, bro. Yeah. Get a sweet sound. You know what I mean? Like, and like do it properly, and people. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's all said and done, with the jukebox around, you're probably going to need to do it properly unless you're deep in south where like people are not going to travel all the way to West London. Obviously, that's one of the main points as well. So we're in like West London, West Central London, where like if you're from Forest Green, you're probably not going to want to travel here unless you work locally or you work, it's quite easy. So competition's good. I think competition is good. Bottom line, if you can compete, you're good because I'm charging low prices and it's a high quality. So this is just one of those things. Like there are loads of different places, and there will be places that can compete, and there will be places that come up and they're nicer and shinier. But I'm not worried about that. That's literally.
But with the music industry and the podcast industry, do you feel like they need to compete or they don't? They could.
What, like, music versus podcasts?
No, just in the whole podcast industry. Like if I need to compete with somebody else, but who else does a podcast?
Yeah. I think you're always competing when there's, for example, like obviously not now because of Corona, but in general, there's probably 50 podcasts here a week.
Whoa.
50. A lot of them might be talking about similar things, the same things. Without knowing it, you're competing. You're competing for views. There's only 24 hours in a day, and there's loads of people trying to make sure that you look at my thing and not his thing. That's why a lot of podcasts that are just talking about what the Kardashians do, or whatever.
People actually do that.
No, I'm saying like if Kim Kardashian does something crazy, in a lot of just podcasts where they just talk about what's happening in the world, which are very popular podcasts, but chances are, once you've watched one person or these lot talk about what Kim Kardashian did, chances are you won't go and listen to what these lot did about Kim Kardashian, because you've heard an outtake.
Of course.
You've already had that conversation in your head.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of niche podcasts here as well. So there's like podcasts that talk about technology, new technologies that are coming out, ones that are just about books and literature.
Yeah, he was telling me someone was just reading a book and like.
There's ones about basketball. There's ones about now basketball. I feel like there'll be a bigger market for that somewhere in terms of like there'll be a load of people that have basketball podcasts. It's just the only one that was here.
Yeah.
There's football ones obviously, but then there's within those there's Man United ones and a Liverpool one. There's
clubs.
It's just it depends on what your niche is. When you have no niche, is when it's more dangerous for you, I think, in terms of like falling down a pecking order. But for example, with a literature podcast, I can't think of too many. So the chances are, if somebody's looking for a literature podcast, you will come up in that thing. Whereas if someone's coming up with just a good podcast where they talk about anything, chances are, if you're not already quite popular, you're gonna like not be one of the ones that's named.
Would you say podcast is still new in this whole thing?
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
but I've like long gone.
You've started it.
Yeah. Like I would say, like I'm like 6 years into this. No, 5 years in.
And then where do you see it going?
I see it going towards shows. So, for example, everyone has a podcast at the moment. It's the in thing. Even people that had shows have changed their shows to a podcast format. It is a really big thing. Like, for some reason, and it's not a podcast unless you have the mic in front of you. That's just one of those facts. So it's just so like that's why I've seen a lot of shows that were like that seem to have no mic in there. Obviously, the mic's either here or it's above the head. It's out of shot. But then they've changed the view to have the podcast because podcasts have become such a thing that you want it to look like a podcast. Joe Rogan's had something, Brilliant Idiots, Joe Budden's podcast. So all of these, like, they're making it seem like you have to have it. If you're filming it, it has to be a podcast.
But will it increase?
Look, it will. I think it still will increase, but I don't know how much longer it will increase for. So I don't know. We've had 5 years. The boom probably came a year ago, where the beginning of that boom might be another year. When Spotify spend 100 mil on one, or over 100 mil on one podcast.
That's the thing as well. There's not much platforms at the moment because it's literally just YouTube. If you do want to put a podcast with video,
with Spotify, Spotify. But then I think they're taking the video as well for his. I think they own the whole thing.
Might go with Spotify.
So it makes sense. I'm not sure if that means it's not dying yet, just because Spotify has like a few different business models in terms of like there's a difference between how well their podcast world does and their music world. So I know they rely quite heavily on podcasts. So it makes sense for them to go and get as many. It keeps everyone having a Spotify subscription.
Yeah, they have to.
It's a smart move. I'm not sure if it has any significance to whether podcast thing is carrying on forever or. Do you see what I'm saying? Because in essence, the natural development for me would be for it to. Everyone had a podcast, and then people are starting to film their podcasts. At the moment, it's only like there's not too many filming, but now people are beginning to film them, and then they start filming on their phone.
Oh wow!
Or no, people are filming on their phone, but then they realize you need a more professional look, and then you want to be able to cut between shots. When people are talking, so it just becomes a bit more personal. Is one thing having like a big wide angle, but then sometimes you want the intimacy of like it going to someone's face when someone's speaking. So
closer shot.
I think it will then turn to shows.
To literally be on TV or like not away
Maybe
from
YouTube
and
shows,
stuff?
Instagram shows. I know Instagram are launching
the
something new as
IGTV.
well,
Oh.
and some new stuff that I think they're trialing like paid subscriptions.
Oh wow.
So paid Instagram. So some shows might only be available on
Instagram.
people's Instagrams. Will Instagram get a TV channel? Like, there's just loads of things. Like, it's hard to know exactly where podcasts aren't gonna die. Podcasts have been around a long time before my studio got involved and before our scene got involved, and they've been around for yonkers. It's just that the light's being shone on them now. So it's a weird one, but there's still there's so much time, so much room
for more to come and improvements.
You know, like people want to watch stuff now, but people who are commuting still want to listen to stuff. Podcasts aren't going anywhere. I just wonder if we've hit the peak of the mountain.
Yeah, that's true.
It's mad.
Damn. So let's move on to the music industry.
Cool.
Like, how much has that changed over the years, from the beginning till now?
Well, it's changed in the last 5 years. It's changed in the 5 years before that. Like, it changes fast.
So how can you keep up? Or do you just have to move with time?
I'm kind of okay because I stay on the side of the industry where it's still the creation of the music.
Oh yeah,
That hasn't changed that much in the last 20 years in terms of, you might get better plugins and better equipment and stuff like that, but it's just little innovations of what's already there. You use better microphones and better wires and better computers. I'd say the bigger thing is like the sounds are changing fast. Obviously, you go from grime to this to garage to drill to whatever it is. Things are moving fast, and like things are moving very fast. But I would say it's the media side of it that's moving faster than anything.
What do you mean?
So, for example, you can become a big artist now, a big artist overnight.
You think?
Pretty much. Think about it. Do you know how you see to headline like a wireless?
Yeah.
That used to be 5 years hard graft. In essence, it used to be like a lot of work to be able to get one of those, like a long resume. Now, what's the month? We're in June, yeah. Right. Cool. Just suppose it was October, and we got festival season the following June or whatever. I could start my run in June if I just start hitting GRM, link up, bam, just start whacking and whacking videos out on the month, every month, causing mayhem, get me putting up my Instagram pics with my Miri jeans and that. Then trust me, by the time March comes around and they're selecting people, you are in that conversation. As long as you're good and you got a bit of charisma and you maybe got your people behind you, even without a machine. I reckon you still got a shot. Like the journey now, it can be 3 months between your first ever studio session and a headline show.
But then it depends on the work rate as well. Like you said, if they were doing every month, then 100% they would deserve that.
Exactly. But even, like, remember, a lot of people, like, bust off their first song.
Oh, really?
Loads of people. In terms of their first tune comes out, but where they've come out with so much vim, it just goes off. You see what I'm saying? And they're trying to chase that again for the next time. It's hard for them to replicate, but it happens. It happens. Like, literally, it happens. Like.
And why do you think they do it, most of them? Do you think it's for money, or is like they're just trying to create something?
Who?
Music, artists and stuff.
Don't know. People, I don't know.
I've always been curious if they do it for money, because it feels like some do more than the creation of the actual product.
All right, so watch this. Yeah.
Because
when you hear do you ever like hear a beat come on, yeah, and you start rapping? Tell the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
You see it there?
100%.
You see it there?
It's just a mad vibe.
Listen, I think it's just one of those things. Like, there's like certain things that guys just all want to be able to do. Rap's one of them, innit? Like, you want to be able to do the rap thing. You want to be able to fight. It's just one of those things. Like, everyone wants to be able. There's just certain things I can't explain it, but like
guy thing,
it's a guy thing, innit? Like, you want to be a rapper, innit? Or you want to be some kind of musician. Some people are singers, some people whatever. But like, I think initially it's not about the money. It becomes about it later on. And when someone says to you, bro, this one can bust, and you start thinking, actually. You know what I mean? Like, a couple man gas you up, and all of a sudden you're just like, actually, you know what? Man can do this. I can do this properly. And you start, get me? But it's a lot of investment. It's a big investment to do it. If you're trying to do music, nowadays the level it's at, because even like not big artists are putting out glossy videos. They're having mad, get me, like these videos, forget the cost of the cameraman. I'm talking man's renting Lambos.
Yeah.
You're getting models. You got the flipping mansion in Surrey. Like, you've spent a lot of money for this video and it has to hit. It has to hit. You spent 5 bags on this.
Yeah.
It has to go. This one has to go. So yeah, it's just one of those.
Why do you think that attracts us though? Why do you think like we want to watch those Lambos? We want to watch those high class videos.
It's desirable, isn't it? So people watch desirability. People like, whether it's a girl with a nice figure, it's desirability. That's what we look at. We look at desirability. If it's desired, we'll watch it.
Shit, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a flipping, there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I can just watch man from the hood go and spend dough all day. I can do it. I can watch it on YouTube. I can literally just watch them walk into a jewelry store and just say, yeah, give me that chain. What's that? Patek, yeah, give me that. I can watch that.
Yeah.
Get me? But I love Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? I like it, especially when it comes from a place where I feel like I've come from.
Yeah.
So I can watch all of that. Like, I can't explain it. Plus now there's like it's like, I suppose it's not even now. It's been forever. It's like cool to come from deprived areas. Yeah. It's not cool. Do you know what I'm saying? But it feels
like everyone's coming from there.
Like, bottom line, if you grew up in your flipping mansion in Hampstead, you can't talk about breaking down boxes. I don't want to hear about 2 in the queue. I don't want to hear, you see what I'm saying? That takes away half of what you can rap about. You're almost underqualified.
Yeah. So would you say not majority, but do you think people lie within what they say?
People, yeah, of course they do. Well, I'm not sure if I'm not going to say they lie, but they'll definitely amp the truth. 100%. You're going to bend the truth.
Yeah, I can see where they're coming from, why they do that, but
of
like
course,
truth,
if you're with your guy and he slaps a shot at somebody, yeah, you'll be like, rah, when I saw my man, he just ran. No. When he drew out the swam, like, as in, like, it would make it seem like you did it.
Yeah.
But it might be you're done. Or it might be you. Or it might, you know what I'm saying? It's just being in that environment. I think it gives, I don't know. Do you know what it is, yeah? We're from London. And the rest of the country, we might not see it because we're here. The majority of the rest of the country is absolutely nothing like London. In terms of like how built up it is and how kind of forward thinking it is. In terms of how congested it is. In the amount of estates, in the crime rate, in all it, like, this is it's a proper capital city, isn't it? Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if you're where the majority of like the viewers are gonna be from countryside and whatever it is, they're looking at it like, wow, I know it looks a bit mad over there, but I'd like to see what it's like. Have you seen what people are like when they're going from out of London to London? Like, we're going London for the day. It's like a proper trip.
Yeah.
It's a full-on trip. It's a full-on motive. So it's like, I think like if it's a London thing as well. Birmingham's got that thing as well now. So is Manchester. Yeah, Birmingham's got that thing.
Alright, I asked this question to all my friends. Something I can't do. But do you think you can move out of London?
Yeah.
Oh. Where?
I can, but I can't move far out of London, and I can't move far from a major city.
No, we're talking about 2-3 hours.
No, in what? To what?
Like Manchester or Birmingham? No, Manchester, Birmingham, or
something like that. I probably can't leave.
Up north.
I can't leave London like that. But if I could, I'd be going straight to Manchester or Birmingham because it feels like London.
Oh yeah, okay, fair point.
You know what I'm saying? It's it feels like London. They've got estates like us. It's a lot of people in a small area like us.
Yeah.
There's black people and flipping people of different colours like us. Like it or not, yeah. London is probably one of the most cosmopolitan places in the world. I'm not moving from here to go and stand up in one place where I'm the only guy of any like ethnic background in some mad village. I'm just not. That's what I'm saying. And it would be different if I was born there and that's all I'd known, because that would be my norm. I might be them thinking, oh, I don't want to go London because it's dangerous. All I see is stab over there. So it's just, it's one of those ones.
I just can't, like, London's just too much home. It's just hard to leave sometimes, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I know I'm moving out at ends. Like, to be honest, like, I'm from Grove, innit? Yeah. I love Grove. I grew up, I was one of the boys in the ends, get me? Like, I've done all of my troublemaking. I've done everything. But I'm ready to leave Grove.
Shit.
I ain't going far.
Yeah.
And my studio's still in Grove. So it's not like I'm never going to come back to Grove.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm
of
saying I'm
course.
ready to come out my house now and not see 15 young G's smoking. I'm ready now. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's like,
I'm ready
man.
now to come out of my house and and wave across the road to Margaret. You know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm ready for that. I got kids now as well, so I have to be careful because my son will become a villain.
Yeah, growing up.
I have to be
man.
careful now. I do.
So would you say, I was going to talk about later, but would you say that's like the biggest challenge on like taking on your kids, like just seeing them raise and raising them up to be?
No.
Oh, what?
No. I know.
People go on like, yo, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, and just
Nah,
raising
man.
them. And
Do you know what it is? Yeah, like I think it's natural. I've been an older brother as well, so like my brother's 6 years younger than me, 7 years younger. I've got younger sisters as well, so I've always felt like
the
the
dad.
dad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I've basically, I feel like I've been looking after kids my whole damn life.
Yeah.
So when my son came, it was kind of like normal. It was like, well, I was in work the next day, bro. I sat down. Maybe the day after. Maybe I took that one day off.
Yeah.
But I was back to work, bro. Like, it's kids. They're beautiful. You spend time with them, but it's not like I'm going into the studio for a couple hours. I come back. You know me? Like, especially at a time when they don't need you. They need their mum more.
Yeah,
than
the
anything
early
anyway.
ages. Yeah.
But I would say the tougher part of parenting, I mean, they're time consuming and they're annoying, especially when they start speaking, having opinions. But I think the tougher time is later on, which is why I'm trying to leave the ends before my son hits a certain age.
Yeah.
And you see what I'm saying? Just before he becomes too,
so
too endsy. You see what I'm saying? And I don't ever want my son to be a dickhead. Let's take that one straight out of here. For anyone thinking that, my son's not going to be a dickhead. But he's not, I just don't want him to have to. You see, like, there's just certain mistakes that I've made and people make. I can remove half of those mistakes by moving him out of the area. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'll take you out of the ends, and all of a sudden, half of your madnesses are going to disappear. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have a madness with, you might have a madness with flipping,
someone
I know,
else.
I'm next to you. Yeah, but I'm just looking to minimize any risk. You know what I'm saying?
But do you ever feel that like he needs to go through something in order to become like a better person?
100%.
Because I got like I've the stuff that I've been through made me the man I am today.
Yeah.
So I'm scared for my kid. Like I want him to go through
No, you
stuff,
have to go
but
through
not as much
But
as
my
I
son,
went through.
you know what? I don't want my son to have to go through everything I went through. But you want to make life easier for your kids. I feel like that's
100%.
the number one rule of parenting. You want to make sure your kids have an easier, better life than you did. For me to do that, I've got to give him a better start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bring him up in that. And any mistakes that he makes is his. But I don't want to give him mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you my mistakes. You hear me? Like,
mine. Yeah.
that's it. So where I can, and obviously some people don't have the choice. You know what I'm saying? And you come up where you come up. But let's not go on like Labrador Grove is some like deprived girl. It's just one of those weird areas where if you are rich and middle class, you want to live here. But it's also one of like the mad areas where you're just gonna have a madness every week if you're not careful.
But to be honest, it's changed a lot though from back in the days. It was a lot more rougher than.
Yeah, because now, like, people have started buying houses. Like that, a lot of it was social housing, but a lot of people have bought them and sold them. Look where it is on the map as well.
Yeah,
like it is on. It's just linked to everywhere. You can get anywhere. Central London. This is just one of those areas where if you can live, you would want to live.
Yeah.
But there's also loads of wrongings in it. It's just how it is. So essentially, you'd want to move to an area that just is less mad for young people. It's not for me. I can live anywhere in the world now. I've been through all my madness. I understand how to function and how to move, and so I can move anywhere. You don't understand where I live right now. It's not just here, bro. I'm living in the middle of a war, bro.
What?
I'm living in the middle of a war. Ends that's beefing, bro. Like it's on tops like every week.
Swear.
So I just don't want, obviously, and that's not going to be there in 15 years. Or I'm hoping it's not when my son's older, but something else might be. And to be fair, all the madness might have moved to Northwood or wherever it is I'm trying to move to anywhere. So you never know. I'm just trying to give him a better chance.
But do you feel like it's decreased over the years? Just like beef and kids being about?
No.
You think it's still the same?
I think it's increased.
Increased.
Yeah. I think it's worse. Trust me, I come from like, I remember thinking that 2007, 2008 was like the worst years ever in terms of beef, because that's when like you see everything, you hear everything. But I've finally admitted that these youths are probably worse.
Shit.
I think it's worse.
You think it's gonna get worse as well?
Well, have you seen some of the Excalibur swords that these kids have got?
True, man. But
it's nuts. Like, and obviously, if you're just a good guy who plays computers and you do your work and you go home and you probably won't ever come across one of these things. But if you're one of those kids that in school you wanted to be the wave, and then you rap and all of this, and all of a sudden you're gonna rub shoulders with these guys, man. Like, it's just how it works. It's a close knit area.
So how do you like focus on yourself? Like just do you sometimes and try to avoid everything that's going on around you?
I play football and fight. That's it. Football is my thing, and boxing is my thing. Like, they keep me sane.
That's the word. That's the way to put it.
They keep me sane. And then plus I'm grounded. I go home. Get me? Like, I'll go home and my girl will say, you put the bins out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's never. Like, I'm never getting above myself, and I'm getting still.
Always
like,
reminded.
Yeah, that's it. I'm always reminded that this life is not. It's not all yours. You got kids now. You got 100%. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, I just have to chill.
That's it.
I just have to chill. All I wanna do is play football, go gym, fight when I can, when I'm not getting smacked up. Come studio. Like, I like coming to the studio and working on certain things. It's exciting. You don't know when the next absolute massive tune's gonna come out of here. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. You just gotta like what you work and
exactly.
make your work like lovable.
That's it.
Like
That's it. It's something that you would do anyway. If you can do that, you're kind of won. But then I rave as well. I rave. Trust me, I rave hard. So like, and I have to affirm it the next day. I rave, as in like the way. Obviously, I know loads of artists that are recording here, and loads of them are my actual friends, my guys, and I'll be like, yo, if I got a show tonight, Birmingham, I'll be like, and I'll look to my right, and my chick might be there, like that. You see where you can see her trying to hear the call or trying to work out what he's just said for my answer. I'm like, yeah, man's gonna shout you in 20. And it's just like and then I might just say to her, I might wait. You see, like, you come off the phone, just put it there and do nothing.
Yeah, pretend nothing
Keep
happened.
watching the TV. Then you start messaging.
Momo.
And she's saying, and someone on your phone saying, you ain't coming. You'll be like, nah, man's rolling. And just figuring out a way to get out. And then you get out, but like, and I'll rave. Like, I'll have to come home, do my 2 hours sleep, and then remember, I've got kids. Day. Yeah, that's it. But I still have to be me, innit? I'm not compromising that. I still need to do my football, have my fun, go be with the man them. I still spend enough time with the man them. It's just I feel like you find time. And whereas, like, if I feel like I need to spend more time with the family, then I'll either work less or go out less. And if I feel like I need to spend more time raving with the man then I'll either work less or see my family less. Like, it's just one of those things, isn't it?
You
like,
got balance of what you kind of think.
Exactly, I balance it out. I just try and balance it out. And when it's all said and done, them lot don't miss me. You're all asleep. What do you mean you missing me when I'm raving? Yeah. You're all in bed. You can't miss me.
Shit, never sleep though. You're always working, man. I rate that about you.
Yeah, I have to. Well, I don't like not being busy.
Yeah, no,
I have to be busy.
Even through this period as well, must have been hard for you.
It was. You know what? At first, I loved it. At first, it was just like cool because you know what it is. I hadn't made beats for years, so like I'm always engineering stuff, and like so for that first couple of weeks, I was just like, I remember remembering how to make beats and like doing that, and then obviously getting them to artists and trying to get it vocal and stuff and whatever it is. But yeah, that it was like a fun little hobby. Then I realized, it's long. It's long spending 5 hours on a beat that you don't even like in the end. Oh, that's long. I ain't got time for that. That's when I was 19. That's what I should be doing then.
Move on to bigger things, innit?
Yeah, man. It's just I find time.
There's this thing that you say is dog work, innit?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, it just means hard graft.
Oh.
It just means hard graft. That's it.
Always say I'd love to see it. Dog work.
Yeah, dog work. So like it comes from like that on the football pitch. I'm called the dog.
Oh.
El Perro. Yeah, I'm the dog, innit? So I'm looking to crunch you, like proper lick man down, but cleanly, no foul. I still want to leave with this ball.
Yeah.
And then distribute. I enjoy getting on.
Wait, what's your position? Center mid?
DM, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
CDM, mad.
Yeah, I'm a DM, bro. CDM. So I'm just like, my first thing is to just protect.
Yeah, literally.
But then it's obviously once you get on the ball, you have to see some
You've got
quality,
push
innit?
up,
You have to see some quality as well, innit? I'm here to produce.
So like when balancing football and boxing, like when you do football, that's more like a not release, but like to have fun in it.
Yeah, I find football fun.
But boxing is a bit more serious, and you need to get some anger out or something like that.
Nah, it's not even an anger thing. Bro, you see what's crazy, yeah? Before let's go 7-8 years ago, if someone had said to me, you'll be like having studios and doing sound stuff and work, I'll be like, bro, it's impossible. I'm going pro. I'm going to be a boxer. 100%. Like
What age did you start that boxing?
Say that again.
What age did you start boxing?
I was like properly, not properly till like 20. Like I was on and off before then.
Oh,
like
so it's always been there then.
Yeah, it's been there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
been
thought
there.
it was
Yeah.
quite recent.
And then I was at Holland and ABC, and then I was at Del Youth, so where like George Groves, James DeGale, Dion Juma, like so, and that's in Grove, obviously.
Yeah.
So obviously the thing is, like, once you get to that gym there, you better be fit.
Oh shit.
You better be fit. You better be fit, and you better be ready because you'll be thrown in the ring, and you might just get smashed.
No way.
You might just get smashed, innit? You gotta be fit, like, and doing these runs are designed to make your heart jump out of your chest. Like, so we got like lots of hills and groves. So the route, it was, bro, like even thinking about it now, I can feel the feeling of like, you see like when your heart's trying to escape your chest. But because I was used to like working hard from stuff like that, when I would take that over into football, I would be like an energizer bunny, bro. Like as in I was literally like that. I was like half Kante, half Pogba.
Yo.
And half Winston Palacios. Just killing everyone. Like as in I felt so fit on pitches because I don't know, it just translated. You see what I'm saying? Like and the ability to like feel comfortable with that heart jumping out of your chest and to know you can keep going. It's like knowing you're fit. Fitness will make a player. 100%. It'll make you 10 times the player.
Do you think that's motivation though to be fit?
My motivation was I didn't want to get smacked up in sparring.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Literally.
That was it. That was my motivation, if I'm honest. So
shit, man, that's sick.
yeah, but like fitness is a good, but I like genuinely, like I would say in pretty much everything, because I can be a lazy person sometimes, but when I say lazy, I mean I want to sleep kind of long and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a lane.
But I enjoy hard work. Like I want to build. I want to do stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like stuff that is typically manly stuff.
Yeah.
I like to do that kind of stuff, man. Like I like to work hard.
Do you feel like you've had that since the beginning, or did you have to teach yourself that?
I did not have that at the beginning. Boxing gave that to me.
Oh.
Boxing gave that to me, 100%. Yeah.
So would you recommend people getting into boxing 100%. And fighting and stuff?
Bro, I'm not saying go fight.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying go and fight. But I'm saying the ability, because like to work harder. I think sometimes there's confidence knowing that you can go harder. So for example, you see like when you feel like you've got nothing left in the tank, but you got to find something, or you get knocked out in the next 30 seconds. Like, as in like that is something. Or
you have to
even
know your
on the
limits.
runs, like when you go on these runs, you're going on runs with 10 other fighters. And I was a light heavyweight, 81 kg. I might be running with 65 kg guys that they can wet. Ooh. As in they can, because they're lighter, their bodies, but you don't want to be seen to be trudging on the back. You don't want to be seen to be dying, because I don't know what it is, but you look around, everyone else just looks fine. Like they're not breaking a sweat. But everyone's dying. Like, these runs, bro, these runs are spiritual. Like, as in, like, you see when you're running, you can hear man's footsteps behind you. And you know, and like, or when you're running and someone's in front of you, you know, I don't know what it is, but you can like run behind them. And for some reason, your energy's not going. But all of his is going. Because he can hear your footsteps. Trust me when I say, you overtake that guy, you will never see him again. His heart is broken. You'll never see him again. But as in, like, that kind of, like, that kind of, like, competitiveness, I just took it into everything, I think.
Yeah, that
you know what I'm saying? I'm competitive. Bro, if I go on a date, bro, I'm smashing this girl at bowling, bro. It's not like I'm not playing nice. If it's pool, I'm putting all these balls in the pocket. You get me? I'll pay you for money. I'll pay you for money, 100%. I'm not joking. Like I'm here to compete.
Shit. Sounds like if you get into FIFA tournaments, it might be a bit sticky.
Yeah.
Because obviously your competitiveness is going to be.
Yeah. So I was once upon a time the best at FIFA until I no longer. Bro, imagine I played with JD. Yeah. I didn't have this game. I ain't had FIFA for years.
Yeah.
So I've just turned up, managed to score my first ever goal on FIFA. But I was so fuming that Miles thought he's better than me at FIFA. Like in general, like you will be today, of course. I'd never played it. That I had to go and buy FIFA. After that, just to prove that you lot up here, I'm still way too much for you. Trust me. I ain't played him yet, but I'll whack him out now. It's too easy now.
Sick.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But so it's that time to like just keep doing and keep going, innit?
Yeah.
Just don't stop, man.
Bro, do you know what it is? Yeah, I say to everyone, yeah, I think good advice is do what you want. Sometimes that can be bad advice, so let me chill. But nah, do what you want.
No.
It's the only thing that's gonna make you happy.
Yeah. Because there's a lot, and plus life doesn't let you do what you want most of the time, bro.
Well, I remember my dad saying
shit.
to me early doors, like when I said that I was gonna do studio stuff, he was just like, studio stuff? Nah, man. I mean, like, what are you doing? I had to do it. It makes me happy. Now I make more than you.
And plus the generation change as well.
And but
they won't
also
understand.
So I think they won't understand that there's certain things that are a job. But he also said that about boxing. He probably would. I had to be a doctor or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's just, I say, if you do what you want within reason, obviously you have to compromise.
Yeah.
You'll never. I don't think you'll be unhappy.
And then how long should you go for? Would you say to like see results?
That's dependent. As in, I feel like you know what you got to do. Yeah, you got to have a plan. I'm not sure what people's results are, how you measure success.
Yeah, no, true.
Like, so for example, I always set goals in terms of what I want to achieve by a certain point. So I think I got that. I'd studied business at uni, even though I basically didn't go to uni. But as in, like, I remember like always being drummed into you that all your objectives and plans have to be smart, and I forgot what smart. I think they have to be I've forgotten, but measurized was one of them.
Plus, they have to be within the time limit, obviously, because then you
time.
can
I think time frame was the last one. I think that was T.
Yeah.
Reasonable, I think might have been, but as in you set a plan. If you have a plan, try and work out where you can be in this. Like, obviously, it's hard to just pluck data from the sky, but have a look at it. If you're starting a flipping cupcake company, and you feel like, all right, cool, like I want this to be a success, you have to work out what that success is to you, because chances are you won't make 5 mil in the first year. You got to work out what a success is relatively, innit? Like what do you want to achieve, and then set out and try and just smash that. But as in like I always try to keep my my plans, my goals pessimistic. So some people are really optimistic and they'll be like, yeah, man, we're gonna turn over 100 grand the first year. But then they don't, and because of it, they're sad and they miss their targets. And it's just a target that they should never really set in the first place, unless it was like had some kind of serious education behind it. I always try and be pessimistic with my things until now. To be fair, now I'm optimistic, which is more dangerous. Because I'm just like, actually, this year I can do this, and this. But it's probably because I just believe in me.
Plus you got more drive as well now.
Yeah.
Just want to do it all.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's mad.
But it's just one of those things, man. Like, measure the success however you measure success. A lot of people measure it just by money. I don't know if that's
the best way or if that's your life's motto kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously you want it to pay you, and if you want it to be your source of income, you want it to pay. I'm saying that shouldn't be the only thing. I feel like everyone. Do you know how many times I remember like Googling like how to invest £20,000? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I've Googled this bare times, old school, like, and they'll be like, do this, and I just don't really care. So nothing was resonating because I didn't really care. There was no love behind it. There was no nothing.
So you must see like a lot of people just come and go throughout the studio, like not giving up on their dreams, but they just see that it wasn't for them. Or
I see a lot of people like that. I've seen hundreds of podcasts come and fail, but it's because they either just jumped on the hype, or they weren't in it for the long haul. They had no goals. They didn't know what to expect. They didn't know what they were doing. Or let's have it right. Some podcasts are shit. Let's not
That's
sit here
true.
and say everyone's podcast.
Yeah,
No,
no,
some of your podcasts are shit. And it's just how it is, unfortunately. And sometimes you need to do 5 episodes to realize actually it's shit. And no one wants to hear about it, and no one likes me. And no one, do you know what I'm saying? Some people, it's just one of those things.
No, but it's good to accept it though. Some stuff just aren't for you, but at least you tried. You can say in it. You tried it, you done it.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah. As in, yeah.
But can you tell that people might, can you tell from a person to see if they got that drive as soon as they come in, kind of thing?
No.
You can't,
No.
I'll be able to.
I don't know. As in the drive, I think people have the drive just from your phone, the booked. That for me, that's drive. Like, but drive doesn't make success. I think drive just gets you in the room.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like drive, like you've got to develop. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to be able to look at your first podcast and say, why doesn't this hit? Also, you can't even really be the one to judge your own podcast, unfortunately. You kind of got to give it around to people and see what they think, and to people who are going to be honest and critical, and would I watch it again, or am I just being your friend? And you know what I'm saying? Like there's these are things. You know what I'm saying?
That friend thing,
you got to work out who your audience is as well.
Yeah.
Who you talking to? A lot of people have ideas, but their ideas are for people they don't know.
Oh.
So, for example, I might have an idea where it's a good idea actually. I just thought of it in my head.
What?
Where like there's a bracelet or like a chain or whatever it is you wear. Yeah, you can. It's for the elites.
Yeah.
For example, yeah, you are only allowed to have this chain if you have a bank account with at least 6 figures in it, 100 grand or more in an account. Without that, you cannot buy this chain. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But guess what? I don't know too many people for 100 grand in their account. Or let's up the figure to $500,000 or whatever it is. Like whatever it is, you can only have that if you have that. That way, if your chain gets popped, it doesn't matter because the chain might only be worth 3 bills. But it's just a signification. I'm just showing you that I'm up, innit? I'm showing you that I'm up. That's a good idea. Don't take that. Don't take that. But you see what I'm saying? In essence, like I've created an idea, but it's for a bunch of people that I don't even know. So I would have a hard time getting that out there because it's not, no one I know can point me in a particular direction. So a lot of people have that problem where they're creating podcasts or something for people that they're not even connected to. It's a lot easier when you're connecting, when you've got a product or something that you're trying to do that connects to either people you know or whoever, or a younger version of you or whatever it is, like it's easy to identify and it can gain momentum straight from the off.
So would you say like for you to know about the game, you have to be involved? Like I would never be able to analyze podcasts before I even do it. You know what I mean? I have to do it for you to,
I think podcasts
or anything,
are easier.
to be honest, anything. You have to be involved to know about it more.
Yeah,
as in you're from outside.
As in, for example, like you're better educated for a product. I can't make a golf ball because I'm not sure what makes a golf ball good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In order to make the best one, I need to know golf well. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same in most industries. If you don't know it at all, how do you even know it's any good for that industry?
You have to be involved in it.
Shit, I'm sounding smart today, innit?
So I like to bring out the logic, the knowledge, fam, the sharing, the valuable thing, innit? So basically the why, innit? Why you're doing what you're doing is most important, innit?
Yeah.
Do you find out?
Yeah, but do you know what? Bare people have got whys that aren't even real. Sometimes your motivation can be money, as long as it can motivate you enough.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Your motivation. There's no one's allowed to tell you what your motivations are. I can't tell you how to run your business. It's yours. I can only tell me how to run mine.
Yeah.
But I would say that I guarantee there's a correlation between people who are just doing stuff for money versus people who are doing stuff from somewhere else. I feel like they're more likely to get the money than the guy who's just after money. But some people are so passionate about money that all they get is money. Yeah, some people can just get. Some people can just get money. You see what I'm saying? Like there's some people who can always just find and raise up 100 grand wherever by the end of the night. There's some people that are like.
What, have you seen it?
What
have you seen? Like people raise money like
I've
that
seen people.
quick?
I've seen people rise up money fast, bro. Yeah.
That's mad.
I've seen people rise up when they have to. I've seen people rise up that money fast. So it's doable. Some people can do it. Some people know how to make money. Some people, but I always feel like with businesses, you need to have some kind of involvement beforehand. I feel like most businesses should hit you like, oh, that's good. Or it should be something you're already good at and someone says to you, you should do that for money. You see what I'm saying? Like there's loads of people who bake really well and people say to them, you should open it. Yeah, you should sell your stuff. It's a good one. But if I was to just sit here and say, no, I'm going to start a bake, I don't know how to bake, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't just start this. Like I feel like it has to come from
something
somewhere,
that you have value or something that talent. Oh shit.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what they say, like trying to monetize what you love doing.
What you are. That's it.
What you are.
That's it. And I found a way. I don't even know how I've done it. I proper feel like fortunate. But I've always, my three loves, apart from my kids and all of that, my three loves are football, boxing, and music. That's it. And I always said that I wanted something to do with all three. As it stands, I've got something to do with all three. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
And I'll always have. So I wanted when I was older. This was gonna be the last one. I wanted to own like a football team, even if it's just like a lower leagues team. Like literally, like I love
Sunday
football that
league.
much. Not even Sunday. Nah, bro. I'm like Ryman Pro. Like I'm talking like where we have stands, like a stadium. It might cost a couple $100,000 to do, but I want to be able to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like and try and like get this team. I want to play Football Manager, the real life version. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do.
Ultimate team.
And I want a boxing gym. You see what I'm saying? These are my things. But for now, like I'm involved with Chelsea and doing that stuff. And then I'm involved with JD with boxing. And obviously I'm involved in music just through me. Like I'm here. I'm knocking on these doors. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all doable.
Yeah, I think we'll end on that high note, bro.
Yeah.
Peace, man.
Love, bro.